Okay. And this is another. Oh man, you know, it's not. You know, we've talked a few times about you know, the transgender issues, and I think we both agree we lean a little bit to the right on when it comes to this issue, particularly in sports. But you brought about some articles I didn't see, and so in particular in New Jersey, all right, apparently there's some school districts that wanted. There were 3 school districts in New Jersey that wanted to inform parents if their minor child, middle school, high school, it can be elementary, decided or asked for special treatment because they wanted to change their gender, name, be recognized a certain way, ask for some kind of preferential treatment due to transgender identity type issues, the schools would notify the parents like, hey, you know, your child Johnny wants to be called Jill, and you know, he wants to be able to go to the girls' bathroom.
Right.
The state apparently is not for that. And they sued. They got an injunction. A judge granted a preliminary injunction stopping the school districts from notifying the parents if any of those scenarios came up. And I was floored when you sent me the article. I was like, no, this can't be right. Right? Like, and one of the things I told you was, well, I bet you if my kid, you know, does something wrong in the school, hits someone, brings a weapon to school, oh, then I'm gonna get notified.
First person
no problem.
Exactly.
But when it comes to it, it's a big issue.
Right.
And, hey, if my kid wants to be recognized as a girl and I registered him as a boy, man, I have the right to know this is what he's trying to do. The same way if he was trying to do anything else in school, man, the school should notify me, right?
100%.
And so apparently in California, there's also, I'm not read up on the whole issue in California, but particularly in New Jersey.
California was first, but Jersey's now.
I was shocked. I was like, these are 3 school districts. I would be curious to know what areas of New Jersey is a very conservative, you know, what's the details. But the mere fact that the state filed a lawsuit against these 3 school districts to stop them from telling the parents about what's going on with their kids. It's crazy. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't understand how it's even a conversation. Like, how is it even a debate that your child, if from the ages 5 to 18, they want to be known as the opposite gender. So if they're male, they want to be known as, you know, female or vice versa, right? If they're male, female, they're female, male. But yet in school, you go to school and you're actually okay with saying, no, we're not, you know, we don't have to notify the parents. This is something that we're going to do. Like, who gives them the right to do that? I mean, I'm disgusted. I'm pissed off about it because it's like, I don't even have children. I don't have any kids, Kodo. You do. And I'm aggravated and I'm annoyed by the fact that who gives the school the right to be able to dictate whether or not my son or my daughter can make a decision of taking hormone blockers, and you're not going to let me know about it, and you're not going to tell me that this is what they do. So you mean to tell me that my son can go to school, 7 years old, change outfits, dress like a girl,
and not tell
call
you.
me a she, and y'all not gonna let me know about that? Like, are you out of your mind? Like, bro, I would lose my mind if I found out that they were actually approving this, that they were okay with this without even letting me know, and then at the same time giving them hormone blockers. This is what I read, that they were giving hormone blockers to kids that actually want to transition. Minors.
That makes. I mean, I don't know, man.
If I'm a parent, I don't even agree with parents being able to consent to that.
Right.
Much less someone from a school district consenting to my child being able to take hormone blockers. Are you freaking nuts?
I don't think it's any different than if my child shows any other drastic psychological signs of any issues. Depression, or even is super hyper and just doesn't function well in school, or suicidal thoughts, and the school doesn't notify the parents. They keep this closed in. Man, it's the same thing. They want to conduct themselves and do things that may have, for good or bad, drastic effects in their lives in the future. As a parent, I have the right to be informed.
Exactly.
And then I take, as a parent, I make the decision. Yeah, go for it.
You're the parent.
Or whatever the case
You're the guardian.
But it's no different. If my child shows any change in behavior that is drastic, such as changing your gender identity, that is a drastic change. I'm not saying good, bad, or indifferent, but it's a drastic change, and you should be notified as a parent. Just letting you know, by the way, Jill wants to be John. Just letting you know, you do whatever you want with that information. We're just letting you know. But the fact that the school's suing, no, you can't tell the parents.
Yeah.
No, that's shocking. I just.
And then they're talking about that it's against the law. Like, they're going to actually bring this into law.
I didn't know that was even something that was against the law.
It's so absurd that when I told you about it, you were like, what? I was like, bullshit. You were like, what?
No, bullshit. I didn't believe you.
Bro, there's no way. But this is where we're at in 2023, Kodo.
The signs of the times. And my wife, she sees our videos. She's a follower.
So glad I don't have kids.
Right. And she, she's like, hey, you guys really hit this topic quite a bit. And I told her, it's like, man, it's just, every day is something new and different. And it's changing everything. But it has effect on so many different things. I saw the Snow White. They're coming out with this live action of Snow White, and the actress is a Puerto Rican girl, and she basically was like, no one wants to be a princess, and you don't need a Prince Charming, and the seven dwarves don't need to be dwarves. And I was like, man, what's the purpose of making a live action if you're just gonna forget what the movie was about? Yep. That for 60 years has been a classic.
Yep.
Where kids and girls dress up as Snow White, all of a sudden, just all this comment. And then she posted a video where she's crying about it because she's being treated a different way and this, that, the other. Well, hello. Come on. The way you talking, why the drastic change?
Right.
Is the sign of the times. And unfortunately, I think you have to speak up.
Yeah.
If you don't agree, especially when it comes to kids.
Look at this right here. Can you see that? Can you see it?
Oh, yes.
Read that. This is in New Jersey.
What if a transgender
That's the Superior Hold on. That's the Superior Court Judge, David Bauman.
Says, what if a transgender student is 5 years old? And I think we can all agree there is a constitutional right for parents to oversee the upbringing of their children. What do you think? So the Murphy administration lawyer, this is the governor of New Jersey,
his
said
lawyer.
That issue will not come up as much with a 5-year-old, but we believe even then that policy violates the law.
What's your response to that?
Then clearly there's a problem with the law that's been put in place.
100%.
If my 5-year-old or 6-year-old wants to do a drastic,
are you kidding me right now?
There's just no way. I don't know.
Where's the logic
in
behind
good conscience? How do they assume that parents should not be informed?
How could the response be, well, we're not going to have that issue come up with many 5-year-olds? That's irrelevant.
That's not the point.
Who cares? Even if it's just one.
Exactly.
If it's just one, and you're sitting here saying that, that policy would be violation of the law, is ridiculous to me, bro. Thank God I do not live in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. I'm from Jersey, but thank God I don't live in Jersey.
Clearly, the law needs to be changed. So now we're going to hop into the next big news topic. And let me tell you, this is my take before we get into it. A great movie, right, is always when the villain is someone you love to hate, right?
Fact.
That's when the movie is really good. When you want to see this motherfucker get killed, beat, whatever.
Like Joker.
Yes, you just, that makes a great villain, right? So for me personally, the Fresh and Fit team was that, like, I would see their videos and it would cause a reaction, like an emotional reaction, which made me look at their content. Like, it worked, right? But as new YouTubers, what recently happened to them, where they were demonetized, I think is a lesson that we can learn as new YouTubers. Like, what do we need to be careful of? What kind of content, what you can do, not do. YouTube is an amazing platform. If you're successful at it, you can make a lot of money. But guess what? We don't own. We have zero equity in YouTube.
Right.
Like, they can shut us off at any time.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, Fresh and Fit, they can still make content. They can post, and they can talk about anything they want.
Yeah.
But they can't make money off it anymore. Yeah. And a lot of, we had our boy, the lead attorney, on here with us. They've had issues with a ton of other YouTubers, but it's unfortunate, but I think it's an opportunity for us to learn. So anyway, but yeah, man, what do you think about that? I know you know him a little bit. What's your take on that?
Well, I mean, I don't know them personally. I mean, it's social media type deal. But especially with one of the producers, the big guy, follows me on Instagram. But he I don't know what policy they violated on YouTube, but I can assume that it probably has to do with a lot of the stuff that they were doing on YouTube that might have been have a little bit of racist inclinations, like making these monkey sounds when he was talking about certain people. Maybe they were a black person, right? And then the way he would talk to women, the way they would treat some of the women that were on the panel. So I guess maybe and then also they would put strikes on other creators, content creators, just because they were using their video, which is actually fair use. Like, these videos are fair use. It's not like they can't use them. You make it public, they can grab clips from it all day long. There's nothing against YouTube that says you can't do that. We do it all the time. And so the fact that they were doing they put strikes on other content creators that were doing stuff like that, and then they were trying to have them take it down. They would send that strike to YouTube to have them take down all these videos that included them, is based on what I've seen and read. And then they ended up having to retract all of that stuff because it was like, they didn't break any rules.
They were all fraudulent claims.
Yeah, they were all fraudulent. So they had to retract every single claim that they made. Goes to show you that they were, it just looked like they were a little bit bitter. It looked like they were just, they had an issue with everybody.
From what I've heard and gathered, YouTube, is a big platform. Yeah, YouTube makes money off everybody that makes money, right? Yeah. But it's all the image. Like, I don't think YouTube would allow, as far as being monetized, a far right wing, KKK gun towing, let's kill all people of color podcasts.
Right.
Like, that podcast would not be monetized.
No, of course not.
That's not something YouTube would want to partner with, right?
It's dangerous.
And it's like kind of the whole thing with Andrew Tate, good or bad, they made this. We don't want to partner with this person and this type of content.
That message,
yeah. So maybe the way they treated the females, this, that, the other. I think, man, there was legitimate conversations. There were points that were making forth, but I think overall is just the message they were putting out there. And I guarantee you, YouTube just doesn't do overnight. Yeah. Like, they're being notified, and there's some kind of notification process. Yeah, I'm 1,000% sure.
Yeah, but I'm sure they probably were aware of it. They probably thought that it just wouldn't happen, and then it happened.
I mean, like I said, it would just break my soul in half to go from making $300,000-$400,000 a month to zero.
Yeah, they need to just go to Rumble. They're not going to make the same amount,
dude,
but they need to go to Rumble.
Oh my God, they would not make nowhere near.
Nah, but it's better than zero.
It's like you said, it's better than zero. Hopefully they can pay their bills, and
that sucks.
Hopefully they save money.
It sucks though, because I'm not gonna lie, like, their show is very entertaining. It is entertaining. You got to admit that.
Yeah, I mean, look,
it's sure entertaining as hell.
I'm sure they were feeding a few people, feeding a few people's families. When you get that big, you got to have staff and you got to feed people. But bro, man, to go from $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 million a year to zero.
No, that's a problem. Yeah,
you better have some great financial planning.
I saw the last video Myron posted on his YouTube. He looked like he was very, very, very destroyed.
I would go kiss ass. Who do I email? Please forgive us.
I won't do this again.
I won't do it again. I understand. Do whatever you got to do. Try to get back on because, man, they have to put the front like, oh, we made plans, we made moves. Right. You ain't make $400,000 a month moves. No. All right, you're not, No. But like I said, as new YouTubers, we got to take note.
Yeah.
And be
because at the end of the day, it's our platform, but we don't own YouTube.
We don't own YouTube, so the goal is to talk about good topics, have some conversation,
and be respectful as can be.
Be respectful. I think you gotta respect. You gotta be respectful.
Yeah.
You can.
It's
disagree.
okay to call somebody. I mean, listen, if you call somebody dumb, I don't think that's the end of the world. No, but when you start having these messages of it almost gives like men.
You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. Right. You ain't nothing. You ain't worth nothing. You ain't nothing. And overall, that's not the message. But anyway, look, we're gonna wrap things up, my friends, my family. Hey, like, subscribe, please comment.
Yes.
Someone put a joke out there. One of the comments said, I look like Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, and I actually heard that you look like Shrek.
And I was like, oh, no, not white vampire.
Nobody ever says anything about me.
Dude, not white vampire Sammy Sosa. Like, God damn. Like, I mean, but it's all good. Say whatever you want. Comment, subscribe. And I definitely will respond. So hit us up. We see you guys next week. Peace.